This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Running a Fever, episode 412, Benefits of a Plant-Based Diet. Welcome to Running a Fever. My name is Michael Davis, and this is a show about fitness, diet, and medicine. My goal is to live a long, healthy, happy, active life right up to the very end. It's all about loving my life enough to make it last as long as possible. Have you heard the hype about plant-based diets? I'm not sure when the word vegetarian went out of style, but now it's plant-based, so I guess I'd better get used to it. There are a number of reasons people go to a plant-based diet, but I think what's on all our minds is the health benefits. Here's a list of some of the benefits I found on the Mayo Clinic website. Reduces heart disease, lowers blood pressure, improves gut health, improves weight management, cuts down on the risk of chronic disease, is rich in nutrients, reduces environmental footprint. One of the misconceptions about plant-based diets is that they make it hard to get enough protein. But there are quite a few plant-based foods that are rich in protein. Some examples are beans, legumes, and some nuts and seeds, lentils, and peas. These foods are called pulses, and they also contain large amounts of fiber, which is important for heart health. Another myth is that this kind of diet causes deficiencies in the nutrients we need. But the colors of different fruit and vegetables contain phytonutrients that can help boost immune function. A phytonutrient is just another way of saying a compound produced by a plant that provides health benefits to the body. But if you're on a plant-based diet, you may need to supplement it with additional micronutrients, which are essential nutrients required in small amounts for various bodily functions, such as B12 and vitamin D. A plant-predominant diet is recommended by the American Institute for Cancer Research and the American Cancer Society. This includes a variety of fresh vegetables and fruits, whole grains, not processed, beans, nuts, and seeds. Did you know that processed meat is considered a carcinogen? Fiber, in addition to increasing heart health, is also good for cancer patients. The American Institute for Cancer Research says that for every 10-gram increase in fiber in the diet, survival after cancer diagnosis goes up by 13%. As long as we're talking about fiber, I might as well tell you that I'm taking a heaping spoonful of psyllium husk every morning with my protein shake. Let's just go off on a tangent, shall we? Psyllium is a soluble fiber derived from the seeds of Plantago ovata, an herb grown mainly in India. In addition to the heart and cancer benefits, psyllium can help regulate high cholesterol by binding to cholesterol in the digestive process so that it can be excreted before entering the bloodstream. It also helps regulate triglycerides and blood sugar levels. Triglycerides are just fat in the bloodstream. Fiber also helps digestion. So back to plant-based diets. How do some of these benefits work? The reduction in heart disease is due to the fact that the diet contains no dietary cholesterol, a very small amount of saturated fat, and lots of fiber. Meat, cheese, and eggs, on the other hand, have lots of cholesterol and saturated fat, which causes plaque buildup in the arteries, eventually leading to heart disease. But we're talking specifically about diets with whole, unprocessed plant foods, not French fries or canned peaches. Blood pressure is lowered because fruits and vegetables are rich in potassium, which helps lower blood pressure. They are also generally low in fat and sodium and have no cholesterol. Meat, dairy products, and fats increase the blood's viscosity or thickness, making it harder to pump. So reducing them has the opposite effect, lowering the risk of high blood pressure and assisting with blood pressure control. Beef, veal, lamb, poultry, seafood, and animal fat have all been linked to a higher risk of high blood pressure. The low sodium aspect of a plant-based diet is very important in avoiding hypertension. In one study, sodium restriction reduced systolic blood pressure by 3.6. Most of the sodium in the American diet comes from processed, packaged, store-bought, and restaurant foods, which is important because it's important to eat whole foods, which are foods that have not been processed and are as close as possible to how they were prior to harvest. A plant-based diet is also effective for weight loss, which helps regulate blood pressure beneficially. Plant-based diets help gut health. Over half of the microbes in our gut can be altered by diet, so the trick is to feed the good microbes that are critical to maintaining good health. Research has shown that plant-based diets are particularly good at providing the necessary nutrients to support a wide diversity of healthful microbes in the gut. The result is that these beneficial microbes become influential, improving the microbiome's composition in a matter of weeks or even days. There are many reasons why a carefully planned vegan or vegetarian diet can help with weight loss. First of all, the basic principle of weight loss is a reduction in caloric intake, and plant foods tend to have low calorie density. They are also rich in dietary fiber, which keeps your appetite in check and regulates your blood sugar levels. As mentioned before, plant-based diets also have a beneficial impact on gut health, which can impact excess body weight. And they reduce inflammation, which is also a contributor to obesity. However, it is important to eat the right vegetables and fruits. Here are some tips. 1. Avoid highly processed foods. 2. Eat more non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, tomatoes, leeks, celery, or cucumbers. 3. Get enough good quality protein, like tofu, tempeh, and seitan. 4. Prepare meals in advance, as preparation of good plant-based dishes can be time-consuming. 5. Keep your plant-based diet balanced, including vitamin-rich, colorful foods, healthy whole grains, and high-protein plant foods. Reduction or reversal in disease. A low-fat, whole-food, plant-based diet is the only diet that has been shown to arrest and reverse atherosclerotic plaques in the heart arteries, responsible for causing heart attacks. Harvard researchers report that people who eat 8 or more servings of fruits and vegetables a day were 30% less likely to have a heart attack or stroke. In addition to its benefit for the hypertense, which in turn reduces the risk of stroke, this way of eating can also reverse diabetes, fatty liver disease, and early stages of prostate cancer. The more plant-based the diet after a diagnosis of breast and colon cancer, the better the chance of remission and survival. A carbon footprint is the total amount of greenhouse gases generated by our actions. Key to this is understanding how lifestyle choices, including diet, affect our carbon footprint. The meat and dairy industries are among the largest contributors to greenhouse gases, notably methane and carbon dioxide. Conversely, a plant-based diet is generally associated with lower carbon emissions. A vegan diet can reduce an individual's food-related carbon footprint by up to 73%, as suggested by a University of Oxford researcher. Beyond carbon footprint reduction, a plant-based diet offers other environmental benefits, including reduced land and water usage, biodiversity preservation, lower pollution and resource use, and the improvement of food production systems which could contribute to greater global food security. Well, that's a lot of benefits. What are the detriments? I've mentioned the myth that plant-based diets are nutritionally deficient, and they are, which is why you need supplementation and the right balance. A vitamin B12 deficiency can cause anemia and neurological problems. A low intake of calcium and vitamin D can lead to decreased bone mineralization and increased risk of fractures, along with reduced omega-3 fatty acids and low protein. Adjustments can be made and are probably worth it. Is a plant-based diet good for everyone? The general opinion around the diet is slowly shifting from the strict ideals of vegan and vegetarian to a flexible way of life that can be tailored to the individual. Plant-based diets are generally considered safe and healthy, but do require planning and lifestyle shifts around the foods an individual is choosing to consume. Choosing to eat primarily plant-based may positively impact the environment and improve the health of certain individuals. So there you are. I know I'm personally interested in getting more plant foods into my diet, though I probably won't go the full vegetarian route. What about you? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, if you've got the fever, keep it burning, and if you don't, catch the fever, and I will see you next time on Running a Fever.